now going to turn to the audience questions. So I'm now going to look at my phone, not just scrolling randomly. I am looking at the questions that you've got. So I think we probably have time for a few. So the first question that I've got here that I'm going to pitch to the panel is, to what extent can the Paralympics influence, say, people's sport and physical activity participation? This is kind of my area. So if you don't mind, I might actually just answer it myself, which is host's privilege. So I think it has potential, of course, for some people, but as a nationwide strategy, you're probably on a hiding to nothing. If you're just hoping an elite sport event over 2 weeks is going to shift people's behavior. If you're trying to get inactive people to be more active, is an elite sport event, which they may not even be aware of or be interested in, going to unlock some of the barriers that people face? Might for some, might not for others. So I think it is just one component of a wider set of initiatives that you need to try and increase participation. And we've talked about some of the other barriers and all the other factors that are important. So I think to answer that question, it may do, but it's unlikely to do it in the round, really.
Can I just quickly have 1 second on that?
Go for it.
Just in terms of, I think it's an opportunity to have a spotlight on disability and physical activity. And I think everybody involved in that movement and involved in that work has an opportunity to raise some of the things that we've mentioned today. And that's where we could make some change. Yeah,
no, that's a really good point.
Just wanted to add to that comment that Laura's just made. Sport England and the research that we've done last year used the national representative poll, which mentioned that disabled people's views, and just to get that in a positive light. So that was really good to see, and that should be something that we encourage, just to have that visibility, just to make disabled people feel like, wow, yes, feel energised by that. But it's, obviously there are gaps in resources, as we've identified, which stops disabled people from participating. But it does influence, it definitely does.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Definitely. So I'm just looking at some of the questions that we've got. I think just with time, if we can do one more. And if you've not had your question answered, please do catch me at the end, and I'm happy to have a chat with you. Or maybe you can email me, or we can just have a chat now. So apologies for that. So this one is a good one to end, I think. Are there any good models of inclusive activity in other countries that you know of? So I'll put that out to anyone in the panel who wants to pitch in. Hayley, you want to go?
Can I say so? I don't think we need to necessarily look to other countries. A model of good practice that I think perhaps needs to be extended is around the idea of mixed ability activity. So let's imagine we have a group that are engaging in some activity, and the group that's engaging is almost the microcosm of what society is. So lots and lots of different kinds of people. That happens in mixed ability sport. So an organisation called IMAS, which is the International Mixed Ability Movement, provides all sorts of programs where you get lots of different people that participate, and those people are quite happy to participate together with all kinds of people with different kinds of abilities. So a plug for an organisation that I'm involved in, which is called Unorthobox, which is non-contact boxing. And in our sessions, we have visually impaired people, we have people that are using electric wheelchairs, we have families that come in, we have really old people, really younger people, we have people with learning disabilities. We have everybody that you could imagine in that room, and do you know what? They engage, and it's a really positive experience. So moving to a mixed ability model in sport and activity is key for me.
Okay, great, thank you. One last line from anyone if they want to add.
I think it's. I was living in Alabama for a while, and there was a phenomenal place that basically was a gym or leisure centre that was for anyone that had an impairment. Now this included quadriplegia to arthritis, sort of thing, and it was amazing because it was built with that kind of different needs in mind, sort of thing. And I always I still, if I see a ramp or stairs, I'm taking the ramp. Is a bit like putting something in place to be more accessible for somebody else doesn't mean that you exclude others, sort of thing. To include everybody means that, that nothing is taken away, only things are added. So again, it's that sort of thing of, it's not an afterthought. It's a forethought.
That's interesting, because in my current situation, I have 2 young kids, so we've used the ramp, of course, for our
Yeah,
buggy.
I still do. I'm 34. It's
So
great.
yeah, so you're getting obviously in a more inclusive environment helps many more people than maybe just your initial target. You know, you're going to have a wider inclusive
And
setting.
it's fun.
And it's fun, exactly. All right, well, we're out of time. So what I'd like to do now is to say thank you so much to the panel. I think it's been a fantastic show. I've really enjoyed it. Our first live recording, and if we have any demand, we might have another one. But yeah, I really like to thank the panel. So if you could join me now in just giving a round of applause, I really appreciate it.